Welcome back to season 19 of the Splash Pokemon League. We are in the finals of the league, the last match of the season. We have Simp4Sylvain, real name James, rocking his Incineroar, Celesteela, Landorus team. And we've got Jack rocking his Archaludon, Latias, like rain hybrid team, I would call it. Uh, Andrew, thank you for joining me on commentary. What do you think we should expect in this matchup?
Well, unusually, I think the Archaludon in this matchup won't be pulling its weight nearly as much as it has in the other weeks. But Jack, he could very well surprise us with a very unique set. In my experience, the Politoed and the Serena can actually present a lot of problems here. But James, of course, has a lot of damage potential with his Landorus. The Inteleon is really fast, outspeeds Jack's entire team. So yeah, it should be really interesting to see how these Pokemon interact.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how Terras go on both sides, what two that they don't bring. From Jack, no Talonflame, no Ledge. Not really a surprise there, I think. I think I don't know. I don't feel good bringing a fire type into Incineroar, Landorus, and Teleon, honestly. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Um, James leaving behind looks like Hatterene and Aegislash.
Yeah, I feel like the Hatterene being left on the bench may be a bit surprising to Jack. It's kind of a big um, source of speed control in the form of Trick Room, so wonder if we're going to see a slower or faster sort of angle from Jack here. All right. I think we're
I,
about ready to get in there.
yeah, I think we can let them know that they are ready to select their leads. I'm very excited to see the conclusion of this season. It's been a fun one for sure. Lots of crazy things happening all throughout these playoffs. We've got one more set of matches left.
Yeah. Also of note that these are both former champions. Jack being the champion of last season, James being the
Ooh,
champion of season 17 and really pulling together his team at the end of this current season.
ooh, and we have the leads. We have the leads. Both former champions, both very good players, very experienced. We've got Archaludon and Latias on Jack's side. We have Clefable and Landris on. Ooh, quick move, a Terra Ground, and a nasty plot coming out from James. Ooh, a lot of stuff happening this turn. A big setup turn for everybody, it looks like. With a gravity from this Clefable. We've got Nasty Plot on the Landris. We have a Dragon Cheer on Hacksaw Bridge.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. Oh
Okay.
boy. Oh boy. That is a powerful Sandseer Storm.
That passive turn from Jack, turn one, letting James set up a nasty plot and a gravity at the same time.
Wow.
Um, he's going to need a scarf on this Politoed.
Boy, this Landorus is a big problem for Jack in this first game. Man, Terra Water on the Politoed. Protect from the Mousehold. Protect on Landorus.
Got Scald.
Man, we've got an
And
Icy Wind.
now, even if that is, first of all, he would be locked into Scald, and that would just get redirected by Clefable. But even if he had access to Muddy Water, for example, he's slower now. I don't think there's anything Jack can do here.
This is a very difficult position for Jack to get out of. I mean, we do have Terra Water on this Politoed in the rain. Maybe it can pull something out of its hat. It's hopping around. Thinking maybe we need to see a spread water move. Maybe it's only Scald. And what is this Mousehole gonna do? Feels like a pop bomb to me. with a Rocky helmet on the Clefable.
And that's it.
And that is game one. This Landorus just
4 turn win, 4 KOs on the Landorus. Cold
coming.
shoulders coming in with the with the ice.
That certainly was a nasty plot to just click Sandsear Storm. And with Jack setting up the rain, 100% accuracy on those. Wow. Impressive game one showing from Simp4Sylvain James. I wonder how Jack adapts to this.
Yeah, he's going to have to try something different, either with his move selection, or we might even see a completely different lead here.
Part of me believes that maybe Serena might be in play. Maybe we get rid of Clefable. We try to knock this out with a triple axle, but even then, Clefable, a very bulky Pokemon, can just click follow me to redirect it right away. Man. Good news is that this Archaludon is Terra flying, so he does have an out for the Sandsear Storm. We
So
do
long
have
as
Terra flying
gravity,
on the Archaludon.
so long as gravity's
That's
not
tr-
set up.
that's true. Gravity does put a wrench into this thing.
Just gonna let them know they're good to
And
go.
yeah, lots of stuff happening. All right. Our leads are we've got completely different leads on both sides. We have Politoed and Serena on Jack's side, Incineroar and Celesteela on James's side. Got to be wondering. I wonder if he brought this Serena because we were expecting Landorus to show up again. Could be in the back, of course, but staring down this Incineroar, I mean, no fake out. You can't fake out into this lead from James. Clear Amulet on the Serena. This thing looks like it's built to stop Incineroar with that Terra Water.
It's interesting to see a switch up from James, probably trying to catch him off guard.
Okay.
Critting his own Celesteela. Bit unfortunate.
That is kind of crazy, but the weakness policy proc. Ooh, Seed Bomb kills the Politoed. Wow. What a turn one. We're getting up the light screen from Serena. We have a Bulldoze Incineroar with an electric weakness policy Celesteela. I knew there was going to be some crazy stuff this match. I'm very excited to see the rest. Incineroar living the Draco Meteor.
We have confirmed the scope lens on Hacksaw Bridge.
Just trying to. That would make a lot of sense. The combination with Dragon Chair means you are critting all the time.
A very precarious position here. Jack with a switch.
Switch, maybe trying to. But
Ooh,
a
and the pivot.
U-turn. U-turn out from Zaddy the Incineroar.
That means if he's able to eliminate the Serena, he could threaten fake out later.
We have staying alive the Palmot out here. I was wondering if Palmot was going to show its face this match. I'm very excited to see. Is this a revival blessing version of Palmot, or is this completely offensive?
We'll have
Many
to see.
options. Many options. But we've got Little Red out here. We've got the Latias. And it looks like there's no Clefable in this matchup. So Gravity Sandsear Storm is not going to be happening. We did see Ally Switch and Dragon Cheer from the Latias. That knockoff, pretty powerful.
Oh, just going for the nasty plot.
Just going straight for the nasty plot, ripping it. And Little Red takes down the Palmot with a missed ball. It is a 2v2. However, I am not envious of Jack right now, staring down this +2 Landorus.
This is a very interesting turn with regard to the Terra options Jack has. He could Terra Ghost to avoid fake out on the Latias, but he probably does not want to leave his Archaludon open to getting hit with a Sandsear Storm, and may want to Terra Flying.
This is going to be an important Terra here. I'm sure James is thinking the same thing. Do I fake out here? Do I go for knockoff into the Latias? Maybe trying to call for Terra Ghost. It's super effective anyway. Either way, I think we 100% see a Terra here. I mean, this thing we saw just absolutely shredded through this Archaludon. It doesn't have the best special defense. I'm interested to see how this turn plays out.
I'd like to see what other attack this Landorus might have to hit.
Protect. Sandsear Storm. Breaking Swipe. Revealed on this Latias. We now know it's full set of Missed Ball. Terra Flying. It looks like we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, interesting decision there.
Man,
Probably predicting him to hold the Terra. I still don't know what other attack this Landorus might have.
I mean, all we've seen so far is Nasty Plot, Sandsear Storm. I'm not so sure what else we're rocking. It does get access to coverage moves like Sludge Bomb, Flash Cannon. It can even run Earth Power if it doesn't want to worry about potential wide guard from something, or just even if you don't have Rain Up, it still is 80% chance to hit. But I'm interested to see how the leads are this game. We had entirely different leads from game 2, and it worked in Jack's favor this time. I wonder if we go back to Clefable and Landorus,
It
start from James this time. It
worked so
worked pretty well
well.
last time.
I don't think he's going to try the Incineroar Celesteela angle again, but Jack knows what's coming when he sees Landorus and Clefable, so
The cat's kind of out of the bag on that one. The problem is just getting through Follow Me. Let's see how he does this. We've got
Pama and
Poly-
Teleon.
Palma and Inteleon from James, Politoed and Sarina from Jack. So, I think we're keeping the same lead from Jack. And a third lead from James. This time, Inteleon is here. This thing is going to hit pretty hard, even through rain, both Politoed and Inteleon. Jeez,
I'm not
you know,
sure what they're gonna
I
do
don't
here.
know if I was expecting Inteleon here, but I like it. I mean, it outspeeds everything on his team. We've got a Terra Ice. I'm very interested to see where the Terras go. This Palmot is very threatening for this Politoed. Because with Terra Water, you cannot escape that electric move. Maybe we see a swap out here into something that resists it, like an Archaludon, a Latias.
There's the switch, like you predicted.
There it is. Double shock going right into it. We have a taunt from the Serena. That Serena is power whipping right into that sashed Inteleon. Inteleon lives to see another day. Um, However, he did reveal taunt on this Inteleon, and we know that this Latios really wants to set up a Dragon Cheer or an ally switch. It can start attacking.
Ooh, not enough.
Ooh, this Serena, very
Miss
bulky,
the power whip.
but the Power Whip miss, the very cool Terra Electric with Double Shock, a very cool interaction that you can do with this Pokemon. Breaking Swipe from the Latios. Ice Beam, not enough to kill this Serena. Man, what a bulky Serena here.
Yeah, and this Pawmot continues to threaten damage. However, its attack has been lowered by the breaking swipe, and it's also interesting to note the speed interactions there. The Pawmot must be scarfed here unless this Latias isn't full speed, so that's probably why he had to commit to the Terra.
It's really interesting. You're right. Usually, Latios is a little bit quicker than this Palmont. But Palmont moving first there. Very interested to hear about that and what the EVs are on both these Pokemon. But Breaking Swipe was enough to take out the Inteleon at 1, give that attack drop to the Palmont. We've only seen Double Shock so far. Maybe there's another move that we want to be clicking. Maybe he was predicting a swap out on the Serena. But here is this Landorus. This Landorus has proven to be threatening in the past. I'm wondering if the Serena is rocking triple axle. Very free now that Terra has been committed to this Palmont. However, this Palmont does move first, takes out the Serena.
Doesn't get the
Miss
special attack drop on the missed ball.
does not get the special attack drop. So this nasty plot Serena is, or sorry, not nasty plot Serena. Goodness gracious, nasty plot Landorus. Looking awfully threatening. However, luckily, this Latias has Levitate. So unless this Palmont has something else other than Double Shock, this Latias might have something to say about it. I think, no, this Landorus is faster. Interesting. This might be a very slow Latias.
Could be, and Jack bringing in the Politoed. I wonder if it's just to bait a double shock into that slot, and then he just brings in the Archaludon.
This could be Dragon Cheer into an Archaludon. You might not be, if you're only running Sandsear Storm on Landorus, you're not inclined to go for it. A swap out into Clefable, a Weather Ball
Doing
coming out,
sizable damage
doing
there.
that. Yeah, almost half. And then another miss ball, Cold Shoulders protecting. Interesting. I feel like we're clicking Gravity here, so that way we just click Sandsear Storm and we are trying to sweep from here. You gotta get rid of this Clefable. You don't want to let a repeat of game 1 happen for Jack.
I feel like he's very safe to click Sandsear, kill the Politoed, set up Gravity. Wonder if he is
Say
considering
he
that same line.
maybe. If you can get rid of the Levitate on this Latios, we saw that Sandsear Storm was doing loads of damage to his team. I'm wondering, here comes Hacksaw. I'm a little nervous here. No Sandsear Storm. Interesting. But that was a good switch out as Rain, I'm pretty sure, had just ended. Very interesting turn. Surf, no stamina, so this has to be, I assume this is Stalwart.
And Landorus should just outspeed everything here. I don't think there's a
I
scarf on the Polytoad, but there,
I mean I
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not sure in this position. This Archaludon is rocking a protect, but double shock enough to take out the Politoed. And Sandsear Storm enough to take out the Archaludon, which means James is our champion of season 19.
That
Wow.
that was a crazy game.
A crazy, what felt like kind of a back and forth game.
Yeah, not super clear who was ahead at any point in the game until probably the last few turns.
Yeah, not until that nasty plot went up. And then noticing that this Latias was just not outspeeding both these Mons. Man, what a well played game from both of these competitors. Some of the best that our league has to offer. And we knew that there was going to be some fireworks in this match.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome, James, champion. How are you
Oh,
feeling? How are you feeling, man?
oh goodness gracious. That was crazy. Uh I'm glad I made some last minute changes. That is for sure. That Landorus uh MVP. Oh my goodness. That Landorus just put in so much work for me. I am so surprised because one of the things that my team really struggled against was like a tailwind, and not seeing tailwind from Latios at all.
Yeah, I would say that Landris, man.
It seems we've got the other
It is.
competitor in the chat right now. Jack,
Yes.
that
Good
was
games,
an
man.
intense set.
Yeah, good games for sure. Scarf Palmot definitely had my number. I think that was probably the only way you were getting out of that final game. So that I thought that probably was what it was probably choice. I didn't think that it was fake out because you know had Incineroar already and um,
Yeah.
the way you'd been playing with it made me feel like it was choiced. But um,
It, yeah, it was choiced. Andrew brought a choice scarf set on me with Serena, and I was like, if he's scarfs, and I looked at it, you could scarf Archaludon, Sorrel Serena, or Politoed. And like I needed something faster than those. So it was Palma. Before it was Expert Belt. And then I had that match with Andrew. I'm like, we gotta change this.
mhm. Well, Andrew, dang dude, because I did. I don't scarf. I don't think I've really scarfed anything this season, and then I was like, Scarf Polytoad really actually messed a lot of you guys up and had Icy Wind for um, speed control and for breaking sashes. So I thought that it seemed really good. Like Terra Water Surf could obviously Oko, Incineroar could Oko, Landorus could do really great damage on Palmot and Clefable also. So he seemed like an ace in the hole, and then you just had a faster Scarf on. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, no, your team was absolutely scary. I was really surprised not to see Tailwind on the Latios, and not seeing Talonflame made me really happy. I was really scared of Tailwind because I wasn't bringing Hatterini this week because Trick Room and Hatterini in general just looked horrible into your team. Diancie just absolutely trumped it.
I really didn't feel like that. I felt like um, Hatterene was the thing that I was probably most worried about. Um, just because he can do. I mean, I've got Latias, and then I don't have a ton of super bulky guys, and her in Trick Room just dealing so much damage. And Serena, honestly, into your squad really was not that good, but I needed her for the fake out stuff, and then also she was decent into like Inteleon and um. So did you? Oh, you did have a sludge bomb. Okay, you had sludge bomb on him too.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a nasty plot protect sludge bomb Sancier Storm.
mhm. Um, I thought after game one that maybe you literally just had, or maybe it was game two that you just had Sancier Storm. I didn't think, yeah, because you didn't. Was that purposeful that you kept that sludge bomb?
During what game?
Game two, I think there was a moment where you definitely could have
Oh
put
yeah,
sludge
I
bomb.
was kicking myself because it was turn 4 going into turn 5. I had fake out on the floor. I could have faked out into the Latios with a sludge bomb directly into it to do good damage. I figured that the Hacksaw Bridge, the Archdalgon, would go ahead and protect. I'm like, this
Hmm.
is the safe play for me. Is to just go through, do this. Because I think at this point, I saw all your moves, Dragon Cheer, Ally Switch, yep, and then Miss Ball Breaking Swipe. So I knew you didn't have Protect on it.
Hmm.
Uh, but I was also worried about you Ally Switching with the Sludge Bomb, calling the Sludge Bomb into it. So I was kind of worried about
Hmm.
that. And then I was kind of worried that you may call me doubling into Latios and try to take out the Landorus with the Archdalgon if I was targeting into it and make like a
Hmm.
really risky play. And I was like, well, the safe play is he's probably going to miss ball into the Landorus slot. I live that, and I just go for the Sancier Storm, try to hit. If he protects, I'll be fine for one turn and go for knockoff into the Latios, bring it down past half health so that Landorus or Incineroar could do a little bit more work, but that was obviously the wrong call there.
Mm. Yeah, I think game two felt pretty in your favor for most of it, and then was that the what was the turn?
It was turn
Yeah,
5.
yeah, it was that turn. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that ended up really
Yeah.
mattering
One
there. Yeah, okay.
Celesteela, I've been wanting to try and go through and do this bulldoze strat for a while with a weakness policy. Mickey has been telling me weakness policy, Celesteela, and I've ran it a few times and it felt really good into like Polytoad. Um, especially with like a seed bomb, probably not expecting like a physical one. And then it just did a lot of damage with that weakness policy.
Mm.
Yeah, it ended up taking a lot of damage there. I figured you would target into the Incineroar slot there, turn 1, with a Scald, but ended up surfing instead and ended up doing a lot more damage to that Celesteela. And I think I just couldn't make up ground with Palma enough because it was choice scarfed and I choice scarfed into the knockoff.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that this was a really there's just a really multifaceted matchup, and I think it's really interesting that neither one of us ended up even trying for speed control whatsoever. I think it's so funny that so many people fixate on how to gain speed control, like Trick Room versus Tailwind versus whatever. But like, I feel like some of my favorite games and like I feel like some of the most intricately played sets just like don't even actually worry about that stuff so much.
Yeah, I
Like,
was Icy Wind on Clefable and Inteleon just for a fast Latios and then also for Choice Scarf um,
hmm.
to help account for a Choice Scarf Inteleon being Focus Sash. So, like, I had a little bit. I was really worried about Tailwind, so I was actually snatched on Clefable for a little bit. And then I snatched my own nasty plot once, and I said, you know what? Nope, we're getting rid of this.
We need to take this off. Crazy that was a tech discovered this season, the snatching your own ally stuff.
Yeah. Watch out, Klingler's scales. Unaware.
Oh, I know.
Snatching.
Please build a team out of it in the future.
I
Well,
have a
from
question for
commentators.
you. Yeah, I have a question for you, Jack. I was very shocked to see that this Landorus and Palma were outspeeding the Latias. Were you just running like full bulk, like a little bit in special
Yes,
attack, no speed?
Yeah, I'm full bulk because that's always what I do. I like always just put full bulk and stuff. I don't know what it is.
Was
But
it max HP, max special, max defense?
no, it's some stupid, crazy, intricate thing. I do them all. So dumb. It's 252 HP, 116 defense, bold nature, and 140 special defense. I assume that probably knockoff like didn't 3-hit KO because I'm Colbur Berry.
Ooh.
So, and then I think it like lived like a +2 something, or I don't know. It's always so I like go super deep in the tank and then
Game 2 was always
forget why I did things.
I was aiming for knockoff into the Latios, and if you had Colbur Berry, then it was just. I don't think the Landorus would have had enough damage on the Latios already to take it out.
Yeah, and then I think that you played your end game really well. Did you notice that Politoed was scarfed by that point in the set, right?
Yeah, I forget what turn
I
gave it away, but there was one turn. I was like, I expected a scarf on something, and I'm trying to find what turn it was. Oh, it was game 1. Hold on, where was it? Oh, I made the assumption because I am a fast Incineroar.
Oh, you were a fast Incin. That's interesting.
I was a fast Incineroar, and Surf ended up coming out there, so I knew you had speed investment on it. And then, was it? I'm trying to find the confirmation point. I think it was just there. I assumed. Because I assumed it was going to either be Serena or it was going to be the Politoed. And it ended up being the Politoed.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Scarf Serena was something that I thought about, I think, a decent amount this season, and maybe ran like one time. The problem with that, especially just because you run into so many Intimidate Pokemon that like she doesn't have Clear Amulet, 120, and just a base grass typing, you're not doing like any meaningful damage whatsoever. So, and against Incen, it just felt like I really needed that Clear Amulet, and Politoed felt like the better choice. I also, really quick, so I rewatched game 3. I want to talk about, because there were a couple of really pivotal turns there at the very end. It felt like I had gained an early advantage, I think, after turn 1 with you got locked into Double Shock and then the taunt, but then there was a missed Power Whip on turn 2, which mattered, but I actually don't think that lost me the game. I think what actually lost me the game was what came next. Because when Serena goes down, I bring out Politoed. If I had clicked Surf, I think I was golden, right?
Yeah, you had that miss. I think I don't know if I lived that or not. I double shocked into the Serena again. I nasty plotted up. You misspalled. I saw that. And then here, yeah. Oh God, I have to finish posting the rest of the games.
Yeah, I click Mistfall into Landorus, and then I bring out Politoed. Well, granted, Palmont is scarfed, but
Yeah,
you're locked in. Are you locked into?
I was locked into double shock. I don't think if you are a bulky Politoed with the minus attack drop, Politoed could have possibly lived if you were running bulk into it. So I do a
Mm,
hard switch there into Clefable,
yeah.
hoping that um, I could go through. And yeah, if you surfed there, because I realized my mistake, I should have just targeted into it and hoped for the
Mm-hmm.
wall. Because if you did surf, Clefable would have lived, and I would have had to bank on a double protect on Landorus.
Mm-hmm.
But you went for Weather Ball instead, which ended up allowing me to redirect it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, that was just that turn in particular felt so pivotal to me. Like because I think we were both kind of operating under different pretenses. Like I thought I was faster, but you knew you weren't, but you thought you wouldn't kill. So that's just a really interesting turn. I think just like you made a good call and I ended up making the wrong call there. But that turn to me felt like definitely the tipping point.
yeah. I was
Uh,
actually hoping that you would end up KOing Clefable so that I could bring Palma in the back and go for like an Electro Web or take out the Polytoad. But Weather Ball you ended up going into and doubling into the Lander slot. Well, not doubling, you ended up misballing into it.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
But
difficult turns there. Great matches, guys. Congratulations to Simp4Sylvain, aka James, for his second championship. See you guys next season.